Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us. Team Mosso at the1916company.com. It is in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Please reach out to me for pricing. Mosso at the1916company.com. Today we are discussing the Vacheron Constantin Overseas self-winding. Latest generation. This is part of the third generation of the Overseas, launched in 2016. This is a wonderfully versatile watch. So 41 millimeters in stainless steel. It measures 11.3 millimeters thick, and then from lug tip to lug tip, if we're just measuring the case, it's 48.6 millimeters. If we're going to measure the first link on each side, then it's broader than that. Then it measures 52.8 millimeters. So just think of this as a slightly larger watch than its bare measurement. It's more like a 42 or a 43 when you're wearing it on the bracelet. But keep in mind, you get an accessory strap in rubber and an accessory strap in leather when you buy this watch. So there are three different ways to wear it. On my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, it wears well. It's a large tonneau style case, though technically a round watch. Just take one look at this and tell me this isn't a tonneau. It's not a dress watch tonneau, but it's got a broad integrated profile that harks back to the original inspiration of the Overseas, which was the 1977 Vacheron Constantin 222. That itself was tonneau shaped and with an integrated bracelet. Now you can see it will fit under a cuff. It's not super thin, but it is quite slender. And for 150 meters water resistant, it is quite thin. It wears nicely on my wrist, and I would say it's perfect for a wrist down to 15 centimeters circumference. Taking a quick look, you can see the edges of the case, always my reference point. They don't overlap the edge of my wrist, and I've got a little bit of clearance there. Now there is a quick release system built in. You just pull a little tab, the bracelet pops right out, and this is how you quickly and easily fit it to the accessory straps. Now the accessory straps also come with a deployant clasp, because this one is fixed to the bracelet. So you get 3 bands and 2 clasps when you buy this watch. Now there's a lot to love within this bracelet. As you can see on both sides, every single link is removable, so you're going to get a great fit. You can also see that there is a sleeved micro adjustment on each side of the clasp. So each side has this little 1.5 millimeter adjustment that allows you to really fine-tune the fit. Double fold deployant, it's a non-sequential close. Either side can close first. Maltese cross, the logo of the company. You could see the motif repeats up and down the center of the bracelet. It repeats on the crown. You can see it on the dial of the watch. You will also find it on the reverse side several times, on case back as well as rotor. I'm also going to mention that this bracelet, in addition to having a lot of features, is beautifully finished. Take a look at these little interior polished facets with their sharp angle and their tight crevices that are hard to reach with finishing tools. You can see there's a lovely little bevel down the edge, the shoulders of the links. They're polished outboard, they're satinated on their top, and then they are also satinated on the bottom. Really special stuff, as good as it gets. You can see the case is nuanced with satin finish on the lug hoods and the top. There is a bevel that flares where the lug hoods join the shoulders, and then it thins out at the mid-case before expanding again on the opposite side. We do have a screw-down crown. The watch is 150 meters water resistant. It also has a soft iron ring around the movement to help channel magnetic field lines around the escapement and the hairspring. So it's 25,000 ampere per meter anti-magnetic. The ISO 764 for an anti-magnetic watch only specifies 4,800 ampere per meter, so this is 25,000 multiples of the bare minimum, and quite a hard example of an horlogerie high horology dress watch from Holy Trinity. It's a dress watch, it's a sports watch, it's both really. I wouldn't really call it a sports watch in the tool watch sense. I would call it more of an elegant all-arounder. So taking a quick look at the dial, you can see again we have that Maltese cross motif in the actual design of the bezel, and you can see it features little satinated recesses while the outer faces are polished. The top is satinated of this little plinth that sits under the bezel. It's been satinated, then its outer edge is polished polished. The case band is polished, and then the dial features a silver sunburst that radiates out from its center. We have a little flange outboard that acts as a scale for reading minutes and seconds, blackened gold hands as well as indices, and a polished frame for the date. The watch does not have a quick set, well, it doesn't have a hacking system. It does have a quick set date. So you've got the ability to quick set the date. The only feature this watch really lacks is hacking. So I opine that that's a project for the 4th generation Overseas. The good news is that we got so much with the 3rd generation, it should tide us over. So what did we get with the 3rd generation that we didn't get before? Well, we got a display case back, a manufacturer movement, and Geneva hallmark. And you can see this is a Geneva hallmark movement. Qualitatively, it is stamped, but this is also a Geneva hallmark watch, and you could see it on the case. Since about mid-2012, it has been a full watch standard, not just a standard for movement finish. Again, we do have anti-magnetic qualities, but instead of a soft iron cage that goes all the way around the movement, some anti-magnetism is given up to use a circumferential paramagnetic ring. So at center, we have a 22-karat mass. This is a ceramic-borne bearing, so we have a hybrid ceramic bearing for better efficiency. And then we have this compass rose-style rotor that has 4 different finishes on it. It's quite elaborate and handsome. Bevels on the bridges are excellent. You can see that there's satination on the wheels as well as solarization over the bearing. Screw heads are black polished with chamfered slots in circumference. There is engine turning on the base plate, and you could see a handsome set of stripes across the bridges. The barrels have been snailed with a sort of diagonal solarization. It is a 2-barrel movement with a 60-hour power reserve and a 4 Hz beat rate. You could see it is adjusted in 5 positions, which is the standard for high horology and for chronometers, 37 joules. And it's a large movement that perfectly fills the case back of this sizable watch, so the hand and glove match of movement size to case size, always a distinction with movement manufacturers, which Vacheron has become since the year 2000. Now, taking a quick look, you'd see there are these little locating pegs that are used to place the bridges on the movement below, and those locating pegs have been polished on their heads. Another really thoughtful element of design and execution. Taking a quick look at the watch in the dark, it is well loomed. There's absolutely no shortage of that. Like I said, it is a sporty all-arounder. Not a tool watch. It's not for pilots or divers, drivers, or technicians, but this is a watch that could very well be your dress watch, your active lifestyle watch, the heirloom watch for your kid, your one and your only. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.